breaking news that happened about a couple of days ago. That what's crazy about this is that this football player changed his mind to go into this franchise. But we all know Deshaun Watson dropped his no trade clause with the Houston Texans, and then the Houston Texans traded him over to the Browns, which was a shocker for everybody. Because you would think to yourself, why would you pick the Browns? The Browns, I don't know, they just released Jarvis Landry. I don't think they have any type of offensive weapons. I mean, people have stated that living in Cleveland, I guess it's not the most fun city. I mean, I can't speak for it, but that's what I've heard. So for Deshaun Watson to make that decision, but you had a point that we talked about off air.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense why he's going to the Browns. Not because, they had the best coach or they have the best O-line no, they paid him money. It's like $230 million fully guaranteed for 5 years and a $45 million signing bonus. It don't take much. That is really money talks. And that's just a fact. You pay these guys this money, it doesn't matter. They'll come out there and play, whether they win, lose. And what he gets is he gets to start all over. Because with Houston, I felt after that bad season, he was at a point in his career where it's just like he knew you go and have another bad season and your career could be over. So a lot of these guys, when they start, especially quarterbacks, when they feel in the hot seat and they know it's not looking too good, they want to get out of there. We saw the same thing with Russell Wilson when things started looking bad, and then now they're going to start blaming you because it's like you had DK Metcalf, you had the wide receivers, you had the running back, and then you're still not winning. Oh, it's offensive line. How you can blame the offensive line for so long? Eventually, it's going to be the quarterback or the head coach or both. Bill O'Brien, they got him out of there.
But but what I think people forget is when you pay an athlete a certain amount of money, you expect certain results. You shouldn't
you shouldn't win 4 games. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're not paying you all that money to not exactly win 4 games I'm sorry. That's just how the nature works when it comes to professional sports. You're paid that money because you're a high performing athlete. You will excel at that specific position, which they feel the need. They feel that when they pay you, you're going to bring in results. It doesn't matter what type of players they're expecting you to be. They're expecting you to make these other guys better.
And what makes it worse is this is the second time winning 4 games. They had basically Tyrod Taylor and Davis Mills won the same amount of games as Deshaun Watson, who's supposed to be this great quarterback that deserves all this big time money. So people don't understand the NFL is not just about the players. You got to have everything go together, but they want to simplify it to the point where it's it's just the quarterback. Yeah. We saw in the Super Bowl.
I mean, it's easy. It's easy to, I guess, promote the game, to simplify it for the casual fans. Say, the quarterback is this, and the quarterback is going to dictate everything, even though they don't play defense. This is that's what I don't understand.
And we saw with
the
Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford, prime example. People could say whatever they want about Detroit, even though he had Calvin Johnson. Let's be real. But besides the fact that he had one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, we saw that when you don't have the offense, defense, special teams locked up, and you have coaches going in and out, offense coordinators going in and out, you can't win. But then when they give you this star-studded talent in LA, even if you play like complete garbage, let's be honest, like that wasn't a great Super Bowl offensively on either side, but you don't have to be great to win. You just got to do the bare minimums. And that's not saying that.
But that tells you it's a team sport when it comes down to it.
It's always been like that.
There's too many factors that dictate wins and losses. The game is being simplified for casual fans. That's really what it is. Mm-hmm. They're simplifying the game so casual fans can understand it, not the experts, not the people that dig deep into the numbers. And that, I mean, that's the like you said, like what was brought up, like Deshaun Watson. To me, I don't understand the hype with him. They keep saying talent. Like what talent? Like what we
saw him without DeAndre Hopkins. The guy was average. People are gonna say, "Oh, but he had the yardage." But when you bring up Dak Prescott, oh, it's garbage time. But Dak Prescott won more than 4 games. So it's like I don't get how can you win over 10 games, but you're average quarterback.
But they're going to say the Cowboys.
But the star can only win 4.
But they're going to say the Cowboys have better talent than the Texans. That's they're always going to. There's always going to be moving the goalposts.
That's a fact. They do have better talent because they draft better. That's not Cowboys' fault.
But then that's going to be one of the reasons why people's like, oh, well, he needed to get out of the Texans. You know, it's a bad franchise. I'm like, the Texans are not a bad franchise. Cleveland Browns are a bad franchise.
But I will give them the fact that Bill O'Brien was terrible. I'll give them that. But like, even with that, the fault was not Bill O'Brien. The fault was Deshaun Watson. Because when the talent was gone.
Well, a lot of people are not going to say that. They're going to be like.
No, Bill O'Brien was dumb for trading Hopkins. Don't get me wrong. But that's why I say when you take some of these weapons away, kind of exposes how great these guys are. Because if you can't even win at least 8 games without your number one, then you're average, in my opinion.
I think
that's what Dak was able to do. But he didn't have before they got Amari Cooper. Before Zeke was out for what? The whole 6 games? He can still win 8 games. And that's what I expect from a quarterback too. You could at least be you could still be at least what was it called? 500 without talent. Without talent, you should be at least 500. That doesn't make sense that without talent or without a star, and when I say star, I mean a top 5, top 10 wide receiver.
But
you should at least get.
But 500. Again, football is such a complex sport when it comes to, like I said, there's too many factors. You have different positions: O-line, special teams, outside linebacker, middle linebacker, right guard, left tackle, nose guard, wide receiver, tight end.
They all gotta play their position, and not one guy can mess up, or that could be the game.
Exactly.
Or say the coach has called bad game plan. What do you do? What if they don't adjust?
But there's a reason. But there's a reason why they pay quarterbacks, because quarterbacks are really talented, or supposed talented quarterbacks are supposed to mask a lot of the deficiencies when it comes to the team.
But the NFL is too good that even if you have a great quarterback, you saw Aaron Rodgers. They can scheme you. Anybody can win. I don't care how great the team is. It's just you got to be consistent. And the problem is people compare, he did this in the regular season, so he's going to do this in the playoffs. Playoffs are a whole different ball game. So the season starts again in the playoffs.
So I know you mentioned consistency. Do you think Deshaun Watson will bring consistency to the Browns?
I honestly don't think you have to do much. You have Nick Chubb. As long as Nick Chubb is healthy, you just got to run the ball. And that simplifies things for him. So it's going to mask. And if Nick Chubb goes off, he won't have to do as much. But they're still going to say, this is how great Deshaun Watson is. No, you run the ball effectively. You don't have to do much as a quarterback. It's just that simple. And obviously they're going to try to get him more weapons. So probably go into the draft, try to get him another stud wide receiver, along with they'll have him with Peoples Jones.
So $230 million guaranteed.
But we'll see. At the end of the day, when the quarterback's eating up the cap, especially if they don't have if they have a bad year, they're going to restructure his contract.
And you think he's going to allow them to restructure a contract? Because, like you mentioned, the main reason why, or the supposed main reason why that he went to Cleveland was like getting that huge guaranteed contract.
That's it. He went for the money, so
which
I don't want to hear any complaints talk about Browns are trash. It's not. That's what you signed up for. They paid you. Go out there and win. I don't want to see no 4-game win. No, you gotta make the playoffs. I'm sorry, Deshaun Watson has to make the playoffs, or I'm sorry, he's trash to me. Plain and simple.
But there's individuals that tell me how Deshaun Watson's great, and I'm not doubting his talent, but what does he do that is so much better than the rest of the guys? Like, you can look at Josh Allen as a dual threat quarterback. He can bomb that ball 70 yards on top of run with the best of them. Like Lamar Jackson, dual threat. I mean, Deshaun Watson's a dual threat, but is Deshaun Watson a better dual threat than Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen? No.
I just believe a lot of these guys play similar, and the media just likes certain guys. Media likes Josh Allen. Media doesn't like Lamar Jackson. Media likes Deshaun Watson. You look at the film; they all play very similar. So I don't really see the difference. And people talk about, oh, this guy's better than this guy. And it's like they play the same way. Deshaun Watson runs around, boom, throws the ball. Someone's open.
Just does.
And like I keep saying, but it's that one-trick pony offense that it will catch up to you if you don't get injured, but you're going to get hurt.
But you noticed a lot of the quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls are the statue quarterbacks, like the ones that are not super athletic. I mean, Pat Mahomes in that Super Bowl wasn't like really running around. Pat Mahomes.
That defense is saved him.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, let's be real. You went against Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's be honest.
Man, Jimmy Garoppolo ain't that bad, but he ain't that great. They
that
could
boy, that boy's trash. Jimmy Garoppolo's trash. I'm sorry.
Regardless, Deshaun, I don't know. Deshaun Watson's gonna create a better life for the Browns. I mean, is he better than Baker? Yeah, 100%. He's better than Baker.
That's fine, but he ain't beating nobody in the AFC West. So I do not care. I keep telling people you're not beating anybody in the AFC West. You're not beating Denver. You're not beating Chargers. You're not beating the Chiefs, and you're not beating the Raiders. I'm sorry. That's just
not beating the Bills.
Is. Oh yeah, you're definitely not beating the Bills, and even New England. I don't think they could beat them.
Or the Ravens.
Oh, Ravens smacked them. I don't even think that's.
Maybe the Steelers might. No, they got Mitch Trubisky. Never mind.
Yeah, that's true. I don't even know why they did that.
I don't know about that one. Maybe he might surprise some people, but
not me.
But Deshaun, I don't know. Deshaun Watson, to me, I don't know. I
don't see the hype because based on what I'm seeing, how many playoffs wins he got?
Shoot,
1.
Let's find out. Deshaun
I believe
Watson,
it's 1.
Let me see his playoff record.
I believe he has 1 playoff win.
You might be able to find it quicker. Deshaun Watson playoff record. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, only 1.
Yeah, he has a 1-2 record. Wow. And
but Dak sucks because he's 1-3. That's what I just keep telling people. Keep that same energy. I don't know what he's. No, he has 1.
He has 1. But yeah, Deshaun only is 1-2 in a weaker division. I mean, the Colts weren't really because he was in the division with the Colts, the Jaguars, and who else was in that?
Titans. When Titans were trash.
Yeah, the Titans. That's before like with Ryan Tannehill and all that. But
before Derrick Henry was nasty.
Who?
Before Derrick Henry was nasty.
Yeah. So during when Deshaun Watson was playing, that their division wasn't all that. Like Andrew Luck retired a few years ago, and it's like okay, like. But 1-2 playoff record, and I'm supposed to be excited. I know people are going to say, well, it's the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans were a decent franchise. It wasn't like the Houston Texans were the Cleveland Browns or what's another sorry franchise. I mean, I'm from Miami. I love the Dolphins, but the Dolphins haven't been really that good in years.
It might be this year. We'll see. But no, I just tell people everyone wants to say like the eye test when it comes to quarterbacks or, oh, he looks a certain way and he throws a certain way. And I'm just like, y'all worried about the wrong things. At the end of the day, you can't tell me this guy's a better quarterback, that he is going to win you more games if he's in that situation till he's there. You just don't know. Everyone's like, oh, you give him this wide receiver, this guy will do this. That sounds good.
But that's what I don't like about.
And he about to get Amari Cooper, so I pray. Oh, Amari Cooper just going to just...
Forget about Amari Cooper. Yeah, Amari Cooper. Hopefully Amari Cooper has that motor. I mean, that's a...
Yeah, but he's in Dallas. A lot of injuries. I like Amari Cooper. I wish we could have kept him, but we're going to see. We're going to see because Cooper his contract was a big contract. And we'll see if they'll...
But still, like Amari Cooper, there's a reason why the Raiders cut... Like the thing about Amari Cooper, it feels like he's too talented not to be better, and I think that's the issue with Amari Cooper because when the Raiders got traded him or cut or traded him away,
they traded him for number one.
Yeah, I forgot they traded him away, and it was like okay, we just take him. Like dang, that's a talented guy, and then now. The Cowboys did it within a few years. So I mean, there's something to that. Like
it's because his inconsistency with the Cowboys. People are going to say, "Oh, it could be the game plan."
Issues with the Raiders as well. So that's if he was a top, I'm telling you, if he was like a if he had like Devontae Adams numbers like consistently. I don't think he would have been traded unless he wanted to get a big contract.
No, he has Devontae Adams' talent, but I'm sorry, if you're not there when they need you, then they don't need you.
Yeah, hopefully that dynamic between Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson helps the Browns become a better team. I mean, obviously, Baker – it's still, I think it's funny that the Browns were like, nah, we're not trading you, Baker, even though he.
I know, but what's crazy about Baker, and you could say Deshaun's a better quarterback, but at the end of the day, Baker made that franchise relevant again. He had one down season, and they basically said, you're trash. That's crazy to me.
But that's more media. When they don't.
I know, but the team gave up on him after one bad season. That just proves they never wanted him like that to begin with.
I mean, they've had a lot of turnover. I mean, Baker doesn't have a good rapport with the media. So, there's a lot of stuff. If he was like kissing a lot of behind during the media wouldn't be as hard on him.
Nah, they didn't like him. The minute he was drafted number one overall, they didn't. You saw Colin Cowherd. You guys don't like him. They didn't like him when he was in college.
I mean,
he's a party boy. He
all them guys
got arrested at the club. I know, but they did not like him.
He just got good PR teams.
I guess so, but they didn't like Baker, and they didn't like the Browns drafting him. So if they don't like you, it doesn't matter what you do. They're going to find a way to hate you.
Look at Urban Meyer. All these reports, like this report that came out about him not knowing who Aaron Donald is. I'm like, dude, why is
That's
he?
cap. That's cap.
I know it's cap, and it's just like
that literally doesn't make sense. How you can't watch football and not know who Aaron Donald is? That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly, like if people are naive to really believe that, I'm like, dude, come on, that is so.
Who's this 99? Stop. They literally get a report of the best players on each team, and you're telling me you don't know who that's. I refuse to believe that garbage. That doesn't make any sense.
But like, I know we're veering off topic when it comes to like Deshaun Watson, but the thing about the Urban Meyer stuff is alarming to me because I'm not saying Urban Meyer is like a choir boy or angel or whatever, but this is a strategic attack on him because why put out a story like that when he's been fired, he's gone? Like, it's not like the Jaguars got any better. Like, the Jaguars are a terrible franchise. They only had, one good season? They're not good. I just feel like they wanted a man out, just like we talked about with Baker. When you have a certain stigma, when the media doesn't like you, when you get away with a lot of stuff that the media feels like, oh, you shouldn't get away with, they're going to do everything in their power to have all these leaks, these stories, like stuff that just is irrelevant. Oh, he hit a kicker. Like, first of all, who cares about a kicker? Like let's be honest. I'm like, dude, what I don't understand is like, where's the proof? Where are the facts? Like, you can report something.
No, I think they showed something, but I'm sorry if I'm that kicker. I don't care who you are. You put your hands on me. Furniture's getting moved. That is crazy. You let a grown man put his hands on you. You a millionaire. You let some grown man put. Could not be me. I flip tables, everything.
But like you mentioned, like when it comes to Baker, they don't like Baker.
And I think Baker. And I really hope Baker gets like an actual opportunity to play because for me, I like Baker Mayfield. People can say he's cocky, whatever, but I think
all these guys
I think they're making it seem like they put these superficial standards on certain quarterbacks. Like, why is it all these other quarterbacks can have bad years, but Baker, Dak Prescott, who else? Lamar Jackson. Those guys can't have bad years.
Because the jury was like, first of all, when they pay a certain quarterback a certain way, it's hard to get out of that narrative.
Oh, I want to talk about that too. Tell me how with no one complained Wentz getting paid. No one complained about Goff getting paid.
No, they did. There were people.
Not Jared Goff. Jared Goff? They said, the man came off a Super Bowl. That was the narrative.
Come on, that was all right.
I'm sorry. They say he came off a Super Bowl. That's the reason they should pay him, because his potential. But then when Deshaun Watson doesn't play for a year, gets $230 million guaranteed, coming off a 4-win season, I don't want to hear anybody talking about, Dak Prescott didn't deserve his money. They paid some man $230 million for not doing jack. Kirk Cousins still getting paid. This man can't even get to playoffs anymore. With Adam Thielen, you got Jefferson, you got Dalvin Cook. Oh, but the defense is not there. You're a quarterback. They're paying you. He got $80 million fully guaranteed. So I don't want to hear this talk about money when it comes to
Kirk Cousins is
they've been paying bums, and we're gonna see a lot of bums getting paid down the road again. That's just
Kirk Cousins is just a better version of Sam Bradford. Somehow continues to get paid for no apparent reason. I don't understand what there's not a good. The quarterback market is so slim, so just be mediocre. Like, he's not, like, I don't understand why pay someone if you don't feel like they can put you in a position to win a Super Bowl. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'd rather be a terrible franchise, or not. Let me not say terrible. I'd rather not pay a quarterback that I know for sure is not going to take us to the next level, because that's what they paid Kirk Cousins. This man is just fleecing money off of the Minnesota Vikings, and they're suckers for doing it. Like you can't. Nothing about Kirk Cousins tells you that this man's gonna get you where you need to be. Nick Foles got the Eagles a Super Bowl.
I remember these stadiums expensive, so it's like you're not gonna just draft some quarterback and pray he's good. You got average. They'd rather deal average than take a shot on a young guy. And that's just how the NFL is.
I understand these stadiums are expensive, but who in their right mind is going to a football game to watch Kirk Cousins play? He's not exciting. Like, what are we talking about?
Oh, imagine one of these rookies. Who's going to pay to watch the rookies? I'm sorry. They'll watch Kirk Cousins over the rookies, and that's the business calculus that these teams make. They're like, oh, we got average. So if we have this guy, we got someone in place. Why do you think, what's his name, Falcons brought over Marcus Mariota? They want average.
And there's nothing else better.
But you never know till you try.
I mean, I get it because coaches want to keep their jobs, and nowadays you don't have time to draft and develop. You just don't, because owners are quick to be like, "You're out." Like I said, Urban Myers was out in 12 games.
You're gonna be out the way either way. So you might as well get out doing your job than to. I'm sorry, and that's the problem I have with these coaches. What they're doing is trying to prolong their jobs by getting average talent. Mm-hmm. But when you get that average talent, you're going to get average results. So at the end of the day, you're letting the owners tell you what to do, and they still fire you. Go ahead. Let's see how that works.
But that's the problem with and you're right. When it comes to the NFL, you might as well just go down swinging as a coach. You might, and I know what coaches are looking more towards. Okay, a long term. They're like, okay, if I don't, even though I get fired, at least I'm not going to get blackballed by some of these owners, because these owners talk to each other, and they're going to be like, and then if he interviews for a position for another team, and then it's like, all the owner's going to do is reach out to the other owner and be like, yo, how is this guy, blah, blah, blah.
No, I get that, but it's about what you've done for me lately. And coaches, I'm sorry, if you get fired, unless you just got that name like a Sean Payton or something like that, they not finna just hire you somewhere else.
But Sean Payton hasn't done anything
It don't matter. If Sean Payton's available, every team's gonna be clamoring for him. You just need a name.
Because, exactly. That's how John Gruden got a job. John Gruden hasn't coached in 10 years, and somehow he becomes a Raiders head coach for what reason? Oh, we need Chucky. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay, you're going to pay $10 million per year to a head coach? No
playoff wins.
No playoff wins. John Gruden really – there was no reason to bring in John Gruden. Oh, he's a sexy name. What does that mean?
And they brought in Mike Mayock and all those guys. I'm like, it's different. You can be on TV, but you out there is different. But
bro, your job is not on the line when you're analyzing talent from your home or
that's why it's easy. That's why it's easy to say, oh, that guy's gonna be a stud. Because it don't matter.
Mel Kiper would have lasted as a GM. In the NFL?
We wouldn't know who Mel Kiper was if he was an NFL executive. He wouldn't. The only thing saving him is the fact that ESPN puts him out there and says, "Oh, this is our guy. That's good for you," and that's his business. That's literally how he makes money. But he don't do it for NFL teams. I promise you that.
But what's weird about that with Mel Kiper is that you've never been a scout, you've never been a GM. You've never been any of that, but you're a draft expert. I could be a draft expert if I just put in time, get me some stat geeks.
I know, bro. Remember, Skip Bayless is a Cowboys expert. So
who? Skip Bayless? No, he's not a Cowboys expert.
Well, apparently, if you just cover something for years and you don't really, I'm a sports expert because I've been watching sports for all my life.
Yeah, I've been watching sports since, 99, 98. So I have about 22 years of experience, or 23 years of experience.
So ESPN, Fox Sports, you hear that? We got over 20 40 years of experience combined? Let us know. Check us out. It's the Trenches Podcast.